What's up? See if you can hear me. Perfect. Sorry, y'all. How's everybody doing? I hope all is well. Sorry, I'm still just kind of gathering myself here. But yeah, sorry I'm so late, you guys. I was dealing with some life stuff. But all is well. We're going to keep it shorter so that you guys aren't up super late. Because honestly, I got to work tomorrow too. And then I'm going to see a show tomorrow right after work. And it's going to be madness. And also, I don't want to keep you guys up for long either. So, we won't like chill for too long. Although, for those of you that, didn't give up and came for the live stream, thank you. Perhaps I'll let you hear my full single before the stream is over. For sticking around. Well, I say full single, but like the full rough draft of it that I have. Oh, and hey, Nathan. Oh, Lordy. But yeah, it's been a crazy weekend. I went to a show on Saturday night, which was fun. It was like bands playing as bands, so some of my friends were in those bands. They were playing Silverstein tunes as well as Bloodhound Gang tunes and Tragically Hip tunes. Angel, you said Willow, Nina, Joss, and Dex irritate me. Yeah. Oh man, me too. That's why I mentioned them very, very minusculely in my notes here. Because I figured that's the last thing we want to talk about, given all the interesting things that actually happened on the show this week before that. That was just Friday's mess. It was crazy. Like, we went from, like, the show firing on all cylinders Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday rolls around, and it's all, like, the stuff that nobody wants to see anymore. Although I won't lie, I feel like Sasha saved that episode, Friday's episode, and we'll get into that a little bit, too. But in the meantime, what's up, everybody? Welcome to General Hospital MV, my GH after show stream. Let's get into it. We'll kick things off talking about the fallout of Portia's secret coming to light. Much like I expected, Curtis was super angry about Portia's secret, and he really let her have it, while she fed him every excuse in the book, and then he stormed off to his nightclub to drink himself into a state, which I'm trying to remember if Curtis ever quit drinking, because I know he had a drug addiction, and they say when you have a drug addiction, you should kind of stay away from things that, are easily used as, like, a void to fill that addiction, like alcohol. He owns a nightclub, so that's one thing, and I kind of vaguely remember him and Portia trying drinks when they first opened the bar. But that was just like drink tasting, like taste testing. Is Sasha, the actress Sophia, pregnant again? I don't know. I don't know. I never want to speculate that, because that's kind of like weird territory, because if they're not, it's really awkward. But I feel like if she was, she would reveal it to us when she's good and ready. Because Lord knows we didn't find out about, the actress being pregnant until, like, the actress was, 8 months along? And seriously, her pregnancy on the show was, like, record time as well. Oh, man. But yeah, remind me if we've ever seen Curtis like actually just go out for drinks for alcohol and like partying and stuff. Because then it kind of changes the whole vibe of him drinking and makes it a bit more serious. But anyway, Nanika called Marshall, who dropped by to comfort him and encouraged him, and even played devil's advocate for Portia and to try to fix things with her, comparing her 20-year lie versus his 40-year one that he's forgiven him for. Angel, you said Curtis shouldn't be drinking because he has an addiction problem, so he becomes an alcoholic. Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, but have we seen him like drink before, like socially? I just can't. Like, apart from like the taste testing with Portia, like, have we seen him go out for drinks and like, you know, have a beer, things like that? Because I'm drawing a blank. But anyway, yeah, I don't know if Curtis is gonna forgive Portia. It's gonna take some time. Taggart also paid Portia a visit to give his 2 cents, and he was a lot more compassionate than Curtis was, mostly because of his role and why the affair happened. He does place blame on himself in a lot of ways, but he also laid it straight to her that no matter what, Trina is his daughter. And I don't know about y'all, but I got the vibe that whatever the results are going to be from that paternity test that will happen at some point, I think Taggart is going to be very territorial with Trina, which is funny. Because lately they've been mentioning that Taggart often is territorial and constantly butts head with Curtis about fathering his daughter. But I feel like we've only seen a case of that on screen like once. And pretty recently too. And beyond that, Taggart has always pretty much shown appreciation towards Curtis about how he stepped up with Trina since Curtis and Portia started seeing each other. Kaiwan, you said it's not about that. He had an addictive personality, so he might take alcohol, drugs maybe next. Angel, you said, yeah, her last pregnancy, they had to write it because she was huge real quick. Yeah. Oh, man. Curtis better give Portia the same smoke he gave Jordan and ask for an annulment. Oh, man. Yeah, it'd be weird if he didn't. But I think Curtis is going to confront Jordan next, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah. We'll see how, I feel like he will get it annulled. Because he'll have that whole stance of, like, no marriage should start on a lie. And, you know, I think that he'll, I don't know, will he get back together with Portia? Who knows? But I don't think that marriage is going to stand for very long. But yeah, think he's lying about being a what? He can claim fraud. True. I think Heather Weber is lying about being the... Do you mean the hook killer? We're going to talk about that in a bit. Just because I have questions too. But back to it. So, meanwhile, with Trina and Spencer went to Ava's closed art gallery because she wanted to be somewhere Portia wouldn't find her. And Trina and Spencer had a bit of a moment, and they were saying sweet, sweet things to each other. And they finally kiss. And she was ready to do so much more than that. But Spencer, ever the gentleman that he is, was like, no, I refuse to take advantage of someone I care about while they're hurting. I'll never forgive myself. You know, the whole spiel. Which I'm sure collectively Sprina fans screamed internally and possibly externally as well, given that Joss and Dex constantly just have sex all the time since before she and Cam even broke up. But I digress. I don't know if Esme has a twin. I'm not convinced of that. I'm annoyed that she is the killer the whole time because like how we're gonna get into it. Let me finish off with the Trina stuff because I'm almost done, and then we're gonna get into it because I'm my notes about that same questions as y'all. Okay, like seriously, I have the same thoughts. And Angel, you right. There's plot holes in there that make no sense. But anyway, Trina needed a place to crash, so Spencer offers to take her over to Windermere so she could stay with Ava for the night. But as you guys know, Spoon Island was a little busy, so let's discuss. Obviously, we're talking about Chamberlain, Heather, Esme, all going to Spoon Island, the whole thing. So on Monday, we kicked things off with Austin being stabbed by a hook, and it was Heather Weber herself, and of course, Esme screamed bloody murder, and Avery is such a good screamer, y'all. Like, she's a scream queen. Y'all can't deny that. Oh, Angel, you said Trina surprised me. I was like, damn, girl, don't you at least want a bed? Yeah, no doubt, hey? Yeah, Trina was ready to do it on the desk, there, right there and then. Oh, Lord. But she's hurting, you know? Trying to fill that void. But anyway, Esme fainted into the living room where Ryan, Ava, and Felicia all were, which obviously scared Heather. But in all the chaos that was going down in the living room with Ryan and Ava and Felicia and Heather and Austin, Esme escaped out the back door of the living room, and Ryan went after her, while Heather held Ava and Felicia at gunpoint. Obviously, Ava is very worried for Austin. Angel, you said, I know I would. I got a bad back. Everything in that art room is hard. No pun intended. Oh my goodness, y'all. Yeah. You know, I've somewhat in my days been adventurous with sex, but never that adventurous. I'm not gonna bang someone on a desk. You know what I mean? All right. So anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. So Heather held Felicia and Ava at gunpoint. Ava was trying to tend to Austin. But then at some point, Heather kind of seemed to resign from holding them hostage and basically told them that they could go. But then she decides, you know what? You better stick around, Ava. You're going to want to hear from Ryan exactly what extremes he went through to win you back, and gives her the gun to go after Ryan with, which she does. And Ryan had caught up with Esme because at this point, Esme's on the ground in labor. Her water broke. It's so funny. This tiny part of Spoon Island looks exactly like the Rockin' Pawtuck that Maxie gave birth on. Which you would think that they would change the set around a little bit, but they didn't even bother. Because apparently we fans are too stupid to notice that. All the weapons off the line. They know it went out there or something. Esme's twin, I swear. I don't know. I'm not convinced of the twin thing. Let's see. Okay, so Ava catches up to Ryan, and Esme sneaks away while Ava had him distracted. Ava even took a shot at him, shot him in the shoulder. Ryan explains exactly the extremes that he went through to get Ava back. He explains that Esme is his daughter, and that he sent her to France to seduce Spencer and convince him to get revenge on her. And she's furious because everything he did led to her killing Nicholas. And she confessed that to Ryan, which I was surprised about. But as soon as she did tell him that, I was like, well, there's no way she's going to let Ryan live, knowing that. He knows that. We should have known Heather would give Ava a gun with no bullets. No, it had a bullet, though. It had one bullet because she took a shot. And got him in the shoulder. But yeah, so Ava tried to kill Ryan, but either the gun jammed or it ran out of bullets. But thankfully, in all this time, the PCPD actually got to Windermere with Laura and Kevin in tow, Mac as well. I think Jordan stayed behind, or she went to Spoon Island as well, I think. But anyway, Mac catches up to Ava and Ryan, and when Ryan lunged towards Ava after she had pushed him away, Mac fired the shot that ultimately killed Ryan Chamberlain. And man, John is such a good actor because you could see the life going out of his eyes the moment he got shot, and that special effect with actually like seeing the bullet go through him, that was cool. That was a cool special effect. Do you think everyone will figure out that she killed Sonny's girlfriend? I think... What? Do you mean that Ava killed Sonny's girlfriend? Everyone knows. Ava went to jail for it. She just escaped. But I can't... So she went to jail for killing Connie. Right? And then... or no. Yeah. Yeah, she went to jail for killing Connie. And then she escaped, and then she disguised herself as her cousin, which was stupid. March 1994, now I'm even more confused. Yeah, everyone knows that Ava killed Connie. What are you talking about, Kaiwan? Like, she went to jail for it and everything. Alright. Let me get back to it, because I don't want to keep y'all out too late. Does she have the evidence somewhere like that? What? Kaiwan, you are so confusing me. Like, there was already evidence that she killed Connie. I just don't know why that she ended up getting to stay out of jail. Anyway, so, okay, where was I? Yeah, so, again, John, such a good actor. You can see the light going out of his eyes, and then he opened them long enough to say it had to be you, and then died. I did love it, honestly, because Mac never gets to be the hero, so it was nice to finally see that he got to be for once. The only thing that I wished for that scene was that both Felicia and Ava were there when Ryan was killed. Because I just... it would have seemed fitting to have them both there for Ryan's death. But Felicia had decided to ride back to GH with Austin because Mac didn't want her on the island until Ryan was caught. And Austin wasn't too badly hurt. There was no poison on the hook, so there was no urgency. And of course, Heather got arrested too. The PCPD finally did something right. Exactly, y'all. Also, Esme ran in pain and in labor, and Laura and Kevin had to help Esme give birth. And when she was in labor, Heather was still in there, but Esme wanted her out, and Heather was like, I have every right to be in there, and reveals to Esme that she is her mother. And poor Esme, I can't believe I'm even saying the words poor Esme, but man, she does have amnesia, so she is traumatized. She found out that her mom and her dad are crazy, psychotic serial killers, so like, I do feel bad for this girl. I won't feel bad if she ever gets her memories back, but like, man, I don't know, y'all. But anyway, so back to, when Felicia does get back to Spoon Island, once she sees that Austin is okay, she finds out that Ryan is dead, and Mac breaks the news to Kevin that Ryan is dead as well. And both Felicia and Kevin go to see Ryan's body. And that scene kind of hit hard because it was beautifully acted, again by John Lindstrom and Christina Wagner, because, for Kevin, yes, his brother is a psychopath, but it's his twin brother, and he even says, like, I felt it, I knew it was real this time. And you know, you could tell that he was a bit broken by the fact that his brother is dead. And Felicia had compassion for that. You know, Kevin's trying to be like, this is the man that tortured you for decades. And Felicia has enough compassion to be like, yeah, but that's still your brother. And she's crying tears for him. Like, that just shows how good of a person Felicia is. And oh my God, I was like tearing up. Even talking about it now, I'm a little bit choked because it was just so like, you know, fitting to like the compassion that Felicia always has had as a character. I wonder who's going to find Nick. Yeah, that's a question too. We'll get into that in a second because there's some things, the aftermath I got to talk about here. Let's see. What else did I leave out? Oh yeah, Alexis had also figured out that Heather was the hook killer. Not that it mattered. I feel like they're just giving Alexis anything to work with, and it's not even that interesting. But whatever. It is what it is. Of course, she's the one that has the whole story about Ryan Chamberlain being dead, Heather Weber being the hook killer, you know, Esme, like that whole thing. After all, it is his brother, his twin, most importantly. Yeah, I think we all love our siblings all deep inside, no matter what they did. Yeah, like at the end of the day, like I don't really know much of Ryan and Kevin's backstory, although I think they said that their mom was abusive, and that's, I don't know if it was Ryan that took most of the abuse, and that's why he ended up being super messed up. Because obviously Ryan was the first one to come. We didn't find out he had a twin till after. Sasha will be the reason why. Why? Who has the weapons? What? What weapons? I'm confused. But anyway. Yeah, sexually abused him in the backstory. Yeah. I mean, like, what they were like as kids. Like, I don't know, like, they had, like, a good relationship as brothers growing up or things like that. But, yeah, it is his twin brother, and, you know, it doesn't negate who he was before, all the abuse that led him to be who he was. And obviously he had compassion for his brother because he kept him alive and kept him in a sanitarium for however many years. I'm not sure where him escaping and having a kid with Heather falls in. Ay. But anyway, what was I going to say? Oh yeah. So Heather, the next day at the PCPD, actually confesses to the PCPD without a lawyer present that she is the hook killer. But let's talk about what happened just before that, because Sasha came in disguised as her lawyer just to let her know that she fully intended to make sure that Heather gets put away for the rest of her life. Honestly, that was Friday's episode, and it was the only interesting thing about Friday's episode, because the rest of it was all the Willow crap and like Willow, Nina, that whole group that just I'm over. Twins are the closest kind of siblings. There's a continuity how Heather is not supposed to be locked up from 1981 to 2003 original timeline. Was she not locked up that whole time? Like, I remember how she came back and she was still like Looney Tunes, like in like 2004 or whatever. Because then she went after Luke for a bit. But even that, so like, well, yeah, I get. Well, so does that mean that like Heather in that time met up with Ryan and gave birth to Esme, or was it just before she got back from that point? Because I was barely watching GH at this point, but I do remember Heather Weber coming back and being obsessed with Luke the first time around, and how she thought that she was Laura at one point. or at least was trying to convince people that she was Laura. I don't know. It was silly, and she even held Sky hostage from what I remember. But it's such a blur in my head, you know? Because again, I was only watching sporadically at that point. In the new continuity. But anyway, Dante came into the room because Cody was there when Sasha first showed up to the police department. So he went to Sam and Dante's to get Dante to go there and make sure Sasha slipped away without getting in trouble because of, you know, the situation with her conservatorship. But yeah, Heather confessed to all the Hook killings, listed them off like nothing, even mentioning going after Nicholas. So I guess that debunks that Esme disguised herself as the Hook to scare Nicholas, because nobody knew that Nicholas was even attacked by the Hook killer because he never told anybody, except for maybe Elizabeth he might have told, but no one else would have known. So it's just interesting. I find that interesting. I don't know. I don't think Heather's going to get off from that because, like, Heather seemed like she was going to confess anyway. You know what I mean? Like, Heather had resigned to the fact that she did what she did and she was owning it. She was planning to confess no matter what. So I don't think what Sasha did is going to have any bearing on Heather Weber at all. But yeah. So, in regards to Heather... sort of you know, confessing to everything and even like giving details on like the situation with killing Rory and how he went after her, how the Ryan Chamberlain sort of trinket showed up in his person, like different things, like everything was in such details. And the thing that bothers me the most is that I can remember specifically not that long ago when Heather kind of first reunited with Ryan, and Ryan telling her that Esme was in town, and she was genuinely shocked by it. So, like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, when Ava was killed, like, or not killed, when Ava was stabbed, like, supposedly, she didn't even know that Esme was in town. So, like, it doesn't make sense to me, unless she was lying to Ryan, but why? You know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense. Because it's like, this strikes me as like, they're not gonna go with anything but Heather being the Hook killer at this point. I think partially, maybe it's because the writers got the sense that this story was going too long and the audience was kind of getting over it. But I don't know. It just makes a lot of the story seem pointless because, you know, they made such a big deal about tracking down Esme's nanny almost from the start of Esme arriving to Port Charles in the first place and talking about her. She has a twin, Esme's twin. But then why would Esme's twin, like, just go around killing people? I'm not convinced that she has a twin. But I guess, okay, I can kind of somewhat get your theory in the sense that, like, Ryan is a twin, so there's twins running in the family. But I don't know. I'm not too convinced. I think they changed who the killer is at the last minute, unfortunately. Yeah, no, I feel that too. Yeah, exactly. I think that, yeah, they messed up with Heather being the only Hook because it was definitely someone else before Heather. Yeah, for sure. Like, it makes me wonder if they were going to make both Esme's nanny and Heather the killers. But, like, supposedly, this lady's just been in London the whole time, or, like, in England the whole time, slinging bartending. So, like... I don't know. It seemed like they were gonna make Esme's nanny and Heather the killer, and that would have been a great sort of, not just necessarily like a shock or a plot twist, but like it would have made more sense than just outright making Heather the killer. Why was Esme so big? Oh, yeah, let's talk about that. So there is a reason why Esme and Willow's babies are definitely not newborn babies, and Rebecca Herbst, actually, who plays Elizabeth, was the one that gave the reason. GH has decided to err on the side of caution on set when it comes to newborn babies being vulnerable to illnesses, with COVID still being a bit of a thing. They just don't want any newborns on set, so they're making sure that all their babies that they feature are at least 3 months old to bring onto the set. So that's why we're getting giant babies. Personally, I would have rather them just use dolls and blankets for now, with a crying soundtrack in the background, than, showing a giant baby, because it's a little bit funny, but it is what it is. So yeah, there's a technical reason for that, and that's the reason. But anyway, where was I in my notes? Okay, I didn't write this in my notes because I honestly forgot, but I do want to talk about it was the COVID precautions, because these babies are huge. Yeah, they're all at least 3 months old. And that's just a, protocol situation. But yeah, so something I didn't write in my notes, but that I do want to address. First of all, Spencer did get to meet his baby brother. Also, I'm relieved that Esme had a boy, so that they can't do no baby swap with Willow's baby. 1 minute, Willow's baby was a doll in the hospital crib at one point. Yeah, true. They should have kept it that way, though. But anyway, so Spencer went to Spoon Island and got to meet his baby brother. Esme is, being a protective mom, and that she, obviously she wants to be a good mom, but she knows that she's likely going to jail for crimes. And even when she's did I even mention that Laura and Kevin helped birth the baby? Sorry if I forgot about that. They gave birth in Windermere. But yeah, the next day, Esme's at the hospital. She's locked to her bed, and she's so terrified to even be around the child. I think the lady that played Britt, or do you mean Obrecht, left the show? I don't know. I'm just glad that there wasn't a baby switch, because I'm over those stories. But anyway, I'm going around in circles at this point because none of these are in my notes. But let me just quickly state it. So Esme gave birth in Windermere. The next day, she's in the hospital. She's scared to be around that child because she knows her own parents, are psychopaths, and she even says, I must have done those crimes because look at how awful my parents are. And Laura's showing a lot of compassion towards Esme. Which, Laura is a compassionate person. I just hope that it doesn't eventually bite Laura in the ass. Because if she ever gets her memories back, she could easily play Laura for a while if she wanted to. But right now, Esme clearly is just devastated and knows that she's done those crimes, and it's obviously Spencer is thinking, since he's like the brother, that he'll get the baby automatically if she goes to jail, because Nicholas is nowhere to be found. Now, to get to this point, I want to mention that Ava goes to the hospital and she tells Spencer what Ryan told her, that he had sent, that he knew Esme was his daughter and she knew he was his father before she even got to Port Charles, and that Ryan sent Esme to seduce Spencer and convince him to get revenge on Nicholas and Ava. And of course, that just kind of breaks Spencer, and he realized that he destroyed his relationship with his father, or blew up his relationship with his father based on being manipulated into doing it. Because even Ava kind of talks to him being like, think about it. Was it your idea to get revenge on me and Ava, or me and Nicholas, or was it Esme's? And he's like, oh shit, it was Esme's. So, it made him really distraught. But the thing about that is that I don't get is that obviously she knew that she had to have known that Spencer would feel this way and would want to track down his father. It's like she just painted a whole search party. She created this search party for Nicholas because everyone had kind of resigned to the fact that Nicholas was probably going to stay in hiding and not return. Ever, he was just going to run away forever. But now they all want to look for him because, it was all Ryan's fault. None of this would have happened if I wasn't manipulated into doing this. And, it's so weird that Ava confessed, or Ava told Spencer this when she didn't have to. The fact that she made that effort to go there and tell him that is so strange. And then on top of that, Esme mentions to Laura that Nicholas actually came to Spring Ridge to get her to try and get her to sign her rights away to the baby. So why isn't Nicholas here now? All of this is kind of coming together and making it seem like, we need to track Nicholas down. So Ava kind of played herself in that way, which is so ridiculous, but it is what it is. But yeah, that's what I just wanted to share. It just weirds me out that Ava would do that to herself. Because Ava's smarter than that. But yeah, also, in regards to that story, Dante and Sam went to track down Maggie Fitzgerald. Where is she? Dante and Sam are back in Port Charles. They're kind of having their normal life and believe to get back to the house. Did Maggie just not want to come to Port Charles? Especially knowing what happened? Because they found out that Ryan and Esme and Heather were on the loose. Is that it? Are we not going to see her, go to Esme? It just seems weird. Yeah, like I said, I think there's definitely rewrites coming into play. I feel like maybe it was supposed to be Maggie and Heather to be the hook killer, both. But maybe she'll come to visit Esme and something will jog her memory, because Esme did remember one thing from her past. She decided to name the baby Ace. And she's a little bit confused herself as to why it just came to her suddenly, but she's like, it just feels right. Did the real killer save Nicholas? Who knows? Yeah, maybe Maggie will come to Port Charles to see Esme just to try and jog her memory a bit. But she's got the name Ace in there, so it's definitely in the realm of possibility. But yeah, those were the biggest stories of the week. It's, Monday to Thursday, it was very focused on Trina, Portia, and Curtis and Taggart, and the Ryan, Chamberlain, Heather, Esme stuff. But beyond that, Elizabeth told Scott what she did. Scott about, helping Nicholas kidnap Esme. Scott went to the PCPD to try to make her a deal, dangling that his client, that he didn't name at that point, had info on Esme's whereabouts before she showed up. But obviously he wants to make a deal so that Elizabeth doesn't get into too much trouble. But Elizabeth does show up. Who is Ace? Maybe the real father of Esme's baby. Well, no, I think initially she was just calling the baby Ace because that was like her sure thing to like not be killed. You know what I mean? Or to not be out of Nicholas's life. I do actually think that baby is Nicholas's baby. But I feel like she just called it her ace because that was like her ace in the hole to really permanently lock herself in with the Cassidines. In my opinion, anyway. You could be right, but I just don't know. But I just think that was the nickname she gave because the baby was the ace in the hole for her. But yeah. Also, what happened on Friday? Willow went home from the hospital. Nina put Drew on notice in terms of being just as shitty as Carly. Sunny tried to get Brooklyn to convince Michael and Willow to let Nina and Sunny in their grandchild's life. And Joss and Dex had sex again while talking about his life choices and what it could mean for them as a couple, aka he's gonna go to the feds once Sunny has this meeting with some really bad people. You know? And then he still hasn't revealed that Michael is his boss, but he does say that Michael would let him go if he decided to back out. But that would mean he'd have to either work for Sunny forever or run away and hide indefinitely. Well, I don't know. I'm still, like, they haven't really mentioned it in a while, but Sunny was definitely trying to look into Dex's past. And they haven't mentioned it for a while. And he keeps on complimenting Dex, but I feel like it's a disguise. I feel like Sunny, well, I don't think he's going to figure out that he's working for Michael. I think that Sunny is going to assume that he is working for the people that he's meeting with because he was on their security team at one point, right? Or he worked with them before. What happened to Nina's everybody's acting insane again? Honestly, Kaiwan, no, I don't think Dex is AJ's child. I don't think so. I don't think Dex is related to anyone on the show. I think he's just his own person. Because not every new person has to be connected to a family, you know what I mean? And Dex doesn't need that. Anyway. But yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I think Sunny is going to, try to kill Dex anyway. Not knowing that he is working for Michael, but thinking that he's working for that security team that he's meeting up with. So that's my prediction on that storyline front. Again, it's supposed to happen in like 2 weeks, or aka whenever Willow's and Michael's wedding is supposed to happen, coincidentally. So I think Michael's going to have to choose between revenge on his father and marrying his dying wife, or his dying fiance. That was a nice sunroom at the Quartermains. Yeah, I really like that set. We've seen it a couple times now. The first time we seen it was with Cody and Sasha and Brooklyn and Chase being in there. But it really does look nice. I'm glad that they're adding to the Quartermain mansion, because it should be shown as like a really big place. But also Windermere should too. I'm tired of just seeing the foyer and the living room when we know there's a whole ass ballroom in that mansion somewhere. It's a castle, first of all. All we see is like the parapet, the room that's outside of the inside of the parapet, and the foyer and the living room. It will make that Michael did Victor Newman of General Hospital. Michael will be the new Drake Lumens. I don't know any of these characters' names. I'm assuming they're from other soaps. But Michael should just be off the show, period. He is such a useless character to me. Like, he's boring. He doesn't add any spice to the show. He's just like a petty man-child getting revenge on Daddy for doing his mom wrong. But anyway, that is kind of all I had in my notes. Like I said, I didn't want to bring this live stream too long. It's already been an hour officially, I think. From Young and the Restless. Michael is no Victor Newman. I'll take your word for it, Angel. Anyway, we're kind of writing them that way anyway. Well, oh no, I need Michael to just not be on the show. That's my 2 cents on that. But anyway, before I go, and this is totally your call, because Kaiwan and Angel, I think you were like the only ones who kind of got to stick around through the live stream. I know there's others in here, so hi y'all that are being quiet. But before I go, for sticking around, do you guys want to hear the rough draft of my new single in full? Which would mean I'd have to cut this live stream like when it uploads to YouTube eventually. But let me know and I can play that before we go. If not, it's fine. I completely understand. But if y'all want to hear it, you'd be the first to hear it beyond a couple of my real life friends. Angel says yes. All right. Let me find it. Where are you? There we go. All right, Kaiwan, you can go to bed. I'll play the song for Angel. So this is exclusively for you, Angel. All right. Let me play. So without further ado, here is the rough draft of my upcoming single called Madness, which you might have heard on YouTube before because I had it on there, but the really home makeshift demo that I did on my computer. But this was in the actual studio. Let me know if you guys can hear it.
Away
that's it. So yeah, that is the single that will eventually be dropping on Spotify, iTunes, all that good stuff. It's the rough draft again. We're tweaking a few things about it. But yeah, recording it was honestly such a fun experience. Again, I recorded it with Luke, who is the lead singer of Calling All Captains, a band that has a lot of good friends of mine in there. And yeah, we recorded it in about 2 hours ish. And then we just got to like chat and hang out, which was nice because me and Luke, we haven't really done that beyond like being at shows together. Aw, thanks, Angel. But yeah, I have no release date as of yet because I'm kind of making it, or I want to make this, releasing this single kind of like a bit of a love affair with like all my friends, because since Luke helped me record it in the studio and mixed and mastered it for me, I also want my friend Amber to do the photo shoot for the single, which she's agreed to, and we're already spitting out ideas, and hopefully, and I probably do this after the song gets released, but I'm hoping to do a music video for it. And thankfully I have a lot of friends that do videos as well, so I definitely want to hire them and make it like, you know, all my friends kind of having a part in this single. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked on it, honestly. I'm trying to go all in. I'm like, you know, if this is going to be my last year in Edmonton before I move to Montreal, then I got to just try to go all in with this music thing for the time that I have left here. And who knows? If it all goes well, maybe I'd extend my time in Edmonton, but I don't know yet. Time will tell. We shall see. But yeah, that wraps up the live stream. Thanks so much for tuning in, and if you stayed to listen to the single, then I hope you enjoyed it. But yeah, this Wednesday, I will be live streaming. I think we're just gonna hang out and just kind of chat about the show. You know, nothing major, no reactions. I'm gonna take a little bit of a break from reacting to stuff for the month of March. I mean, I don't know if I'll like do live streams every Wednesday this month to just hang out, but for sure this Wednesday we are. But just to give myself a bit more time to try and give myself an extra evening to work on some other stuff, which will be nice. Yeah, again, thanks for your patience with this live stream. I know I was a little bit later than usual. And then we kind of kept recapping it to a bit of a shorter length. But I hope I got all the most interesting stuff out there, and that, you know, that you heard my opinions, and agreed or disagreed, doesn't matter. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. If you liked this live stream, give it a big old thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. I'd really appreciate it. And I will catch you guys this Wednesday to catch up with y'all and just hang out and talk about the week that GH is so far. And Sunday, again, will be a full-on recap. All right. Catch you guys next time. Peace out. Mwah.